Director Joel Schumacher, who did the reboots of the Batman movies, as well as Lost Boys and a lot more, has passed away. He was 80. I'm John Beaudin from nailsheet.com. He died this morning in New York City after a long battle with cancer. There were a lot of films in his repertoire. He started as a costume designer. In 1985, he found his stride with his third feature film, St. Elmo's Fire, which he directed and he co-wrote. Back then, remember, they were called the Brat Pack, Rob Lowe, Ali Sheedy, Emilio Estevez, and of course, Demi Moore. He followed that up with The Lost Boys, arguably one of the better vampire films of the 80s, and there were a lot in the 80s. It starred Jason Patric, Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Feldman, and Corey Haim. Then came another one with Kiefer Sutherland, Flatliners. It also starred Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon, and William Baldwin. It was another hit, making $61 million in the US alone. He also had some misfires. There was the remake of Cousin Cousin, simply called Cousin, with Isabella Rossellini and Ted Danson. Didn't do well. And Dying Young, another one with Julia Roberts. In 1993, he came up with another film that was hard to watch, but entertaining nonetheless. A little cringeworthy about a guy who goes postal, Michael Keaton. And it was solid gold for his next movie, The Client, based on John Grisham's novel, starring Susan Sarandon and Brad Renfro as the 11-year-old client. And in a similar vein, A Time to Kill, with Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey, Sandra Bullock, and Ashley Judd. In between A Time to Kill, he did those two Batman sequels. And even though what happens in superhero movies now with the Marvel franchise, there's so much going on, it's hard to keep track, and it's hard to have time to invest emotionally into a character, those two Batman films he did were the epitome of that. Larger-than-life characters, some you would never want to see again. Even at some spots, it was hard to empathize with the two different Batmans that were in those films. Val Kilmer and George Clooney, the former in Batman Forever in 1995, and then in 1997, Batman and Robin with Clooney. He was also responsible for 8mm, starring Nicolas Cage, who's trying to find out if he's actually investigating a real-life snuff film. Another movie I really like, 2002's Phone Booth. Kiefer Sutherland, Colin Farrell. About a guy who's stuck in a phone booth and the ramifications if he happens to leave. It's interesting through these obituaries, a lot of folks will mention those two Batman films, which really were hard to watch. I did not enjoy them. But it's not how you fall down, it's how you get up, and he made some amazing movies. Considering, as we mentioned, he started as a costume designer back in the early 70s. By the mid-70s, he started working on screenplays, like 1976's Sparkle, the 1978 hit Car Wash, and the Michael Jackson musical from the same year, The Wiz. May he rest in peace. What a body of work. It's incredible. It's not an easy job to be directing. It's like freaking herding cats. I had a friend who was in the movie business in Vancouver, and he said, being a director is an uncaring job. You don't get a lot of credit for it. Sometimes it's like being a veterinarian who, instead of learning how to cure one human being, has to learn to cure several animals. There's a lot of studying involved. It's a thankless job. Unless maybe you're Joel Schumacher. He did get a lot of praise. May he rest in peace again. Do you have any memories, favorite movies? What did you think of those Batman movies? Did you like them? There's only a fraction of the movies he worked on that we mentioned here, so please mention anything that you loved. And make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos on this channel. Even though our other channels are doing really well, this channel has not reached 1,000 subscribers, so we cannot monetize our videos. So please subscribe. I'm John Beaudin from nailsheet.com. Take care of yourself.